Y'all see I got the Bloodline tee on right now, right? So to let you know I'm not hating when I say this. Roman should have lost to Cody at WrestleMania.
What?
Let me get into why. Just my opinion. But, right now, I feel like the WWE's kind of spinning their wheels with the Bloodline storyline, with Jay being on Raw and Jimmy being on SmackDown, obviously trying to separate them to keep them away from each other. I would probably assume to release Survivor Series and probably stretch this out to get to WrestleMania to have their one-on-one match, which is cool. I feel like from week to week you have to tell entertaining stories, obviously, to keep people interested in it, and we'll see. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt to see what they do, and let's see how it unfolds. Whatever your opinion is on what they're doing with Jimmy Uso and the Bloodline now, with Jimmy trying to get back in the Bloodline and all of this and all of this stuff since he turned on Jay, we'll let that be your opinion. But my thing is, I feel like WWE really kind of botched by not having Cody defeat Roman at Mania. And I'm a Roman fan. I mean, Roman is my favorite wrestler currently. But I do think that in order to keep the ball rolling with a lot of what WWE is doing now, I really feel like it would have they would have benefited majorly from having Cody beat Roman at Mania for a multitude of reasons. For one, on the Cody side, you enter at post-Mania, you enter a feud with Brock Lesnar to where Brock Lesnar attacks him for no reason, really, beats him up week in and week out, breaks his arm, like 3 times, beats him up in front of his mom. They have a series of matches, and then they end it by Brock hugging him because he respects him. It's like, well, that made no sense. But had Cody been champion, Brock attacking him makes more sense, with the stipulation you had that Brock could not challenge Roman anymore because he lost their last match. So now that Cody's champion, well, Brock's been biting at the bits to get his hands on that title. That would have made sense. And that would have been a great first title feud for Cody to start off his championship reign. On the flip side, Roman Reigns post WrestleMania, nothing that he was involved in required him being champion. Nothing at all. He went away for a couple months. He's gone for what, like half the time post to now since WrestleMania, and he was involved in a tag team match and then a match against Jey Uso, where literally the whole point of the match was who's going to be the head of the family. We're fighting for the tribal lay. The championship took a back seat to the tribal lay in that feud. So Roman didn't need to have the title for anything he's done post WrestleMania. As a matter of fact, everything that has happened post WrestleMania would actually have made more sense if Roman lost. The whole bloodline breakup thing would work even better if it was following both the Usos and Roman losing their championships at WrestleMania. Now you have this unhinged Roman Reigns. You have this pissed off Roman Reigns that his family didn't have his back and they didn't help him beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Now the Usos can hammer back with, well, you're supposed to be the boss and we're here, we're helping you night in and night out. You can't win without us. So the bloodline being in disarray works that much better if they all lost. And Roman being this unhinged type of character would add another layer to the tribal chief persona that we have not seen, as opposed to him just having a title and not defending it, not being on the show half the time, and that would make everything that happened post WrestleMania with Roman Reigns could still happen the same, and it would be loved just the same. The title matches they had could still happen with Solo and Roman against KO, against the Usos, or Solo and Roman versus KO and Sami. You can still do all of that without Roman having the title, and it works that much better because now, if Roman Reigns takes a loss, you can play into that, well, he's been slipping ever since WrestleMania. Or if Roman Reigns turns up the diabolicalness, you can play into that. He's been unhinged since WrestleMania. It just works so much better. Then when you have the tribal chief match with him and Jey Uso, it adds more to the believability factor of Jey Uso beating him because it's not for the title. We all knew Jey Uso wasn't going to beat Roman for the damn title, especially after he pinned him. The match they had before, we all knew Jey Uso wasn't pinning Roman twice. So, but if Roman's not champion and this match is not for the title, I feel like it adds a little more of a believability factor that Roman may possibly lose this match. Because if he does lose, he's not losing anything. But I get it. WWE wants to break the record. They're all about their records. But I really just feel like a lot of what's going on in WWE would have been affected better had Cody been the one to beat Reigns at WrestleMania. Because the way they're going now, if their plan is to do Cody versus Roman at next year's WrestleMania 40, it's like, okay, so we waited a year just for you to give us a lesser version of the moment that we should have got at this year's WrestleMania. You're going into a match to where a lot of people would feel like this is just way predictable that Cody's going to win this match, and you didn't do this for a struggle and adversity to pad Roman's record, to add him a couple more days when he's not on the show for months on end anyway. It just feels like a mistake to me, to where I feel like we could have gotten a great moment with Cody being the first one to pin Roman during his title reign. We've already seen Roman get pinned now. We saw Jey Uso pin Roman. So now you think about that. Think about the people Roman's gone through. Roman has beaten KO multiple times. He's beaten Drew McIntyre. He's beaten Demon Finn. He's beaten Cesaro, Daniel Bryan. He's beaten all these people. And Jey Uso's the first one to pin him. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a lesser moment when he does get pinned. Because again, we saw that happen. It's a lesser moment if Cody does beat him at WrestleMania 40. Because we just went through a year to where it feels like a lot of the storyline that was firing on all cylinders with the bloodline has lost a lot of steam. Not to say that they can't pick it back up. Who knows? They can. I'm not saying it's impossible. But I really do feel like we could have been on such a great trajectory post-Mania had Cody been the one to beat Roman. Roman goes on vacation and he's going to be off the show anyway. Then you can do a lot with the whole, when Roman comes back storyline and he's, you could even have him on the show literally that SmackDown after WrestleMania, he spazzes, goes crazy, and gets suspended in storyline. And then you write him off the show. But then you send Cody on his way. Cody, who's going to be on all the shows, going to be on all the tours, going to do all the events and the press and all of that stuff with the title. And everything he would do would make more sense, and he would actually have he would actually have direction. Then, also, had Cody been the one to beat him, you might not have had to create a title out of thin air to give Seth Rollins just to have another title on Raw, because you could have just had Cody come out with both titles and literally say, this is the title that I wanted because my dad never won it, da-da-da-da-da. This title you know, I'm a fighting champion. I respect championships. So we're going to lay this down and we're going to let SmackDown guys fight for this championship. And I'm going to carry, you know what I'm saying? You could have easily just split the titles had he won it without having to create a whole new title that, you know, kind of undercuts the whole undisputed champion. Well, it's not undisputed anymore. There's another title to dispute that. You know what I mean? It just so much things I feel like could have been done so much better and would have made much more sense had that one decision been actually made at WrestleMania 39. But that's just my personal opinion. Just something I've been thinking about. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm bugging? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think, nah, we all good? Da 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 da. Let me know what you think. I want to know. Comment down below. Hit that like, subscribe, tune in. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.